What's going on, y'all? Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you'd like to donate to the channel, the cash app's at the top right corner of the screen. But let's get into it, bro. So today we're going to talk about a man that we haven't spoke on in a while. We're going to talk about Ebony Prince and the new post that he had set up on Twitter. Now, if you don't know who Ebony Prince is a man who's actually been going back and forth on Twitter regarding cryptic messages involving Drake, and also is the man who was responsible for having the items for 616 in LA and Meet the Grams. Yes, he has the items for the Meet the Grams art. Now, it all started back in May 10th when Ebony Prince had first came out on Twitter and started hitting Twitter up with a whole bunch of barrage of tweets. Now, one of the first tweets that he had ever tweeted was a picture of Christopher Alvarez. And Christopher Alvarez could be seen here in a wheelchair. Now, if you don't know, Christopher Alvarez is actually a 26-year-old journalist. Yes, he's a journalist. Alvarez suffers from thanatophoric dysplasia, a severe skeletal disorder. Doctors estimating that he would only live until the age of 5. So it's a miracle that he's alive in the first place. But this is where it starts to become an issue. So Ebony Prince had posted this back in May 10th after the beef, right after the beef. It says, to Mr. Aubrey Drake, may this photo help jog your memory as to where you discarded those items, talking about the Meet the Gram stuff. The issue in the photo should also jog your memory. Jimmy Brooks would not have been proud of you that night. Jimmy Brooks is the name that Drake used in Degrassi for Wheelchair Jimmy. Now, as you could see here in the photo, this is the Mark Hotel. This is the Mark Hotel lobby. These three men are associates and affiliates of OVO and their entourage. This man right here has the OVO owl right on his shirt. This man has been identified on Instagram with the same outfit, another OVO member. And this man, I'm assuming, is entourage. This is 3:20 in the morning. So it was really strange to the point where people started to try to figure out why Alvarez was at the hotel lobby so late in the night. This is 3:19 in the morning. People were trying to assume the worst of Alvarez and Drake, and people tried to understand why would someone be there so late at night. So now we have a better understanding of what actually had happened. So after Ebony Prince had revealed this information, Alvarez had came out and spoke on an article because he was bombarded by people wanting to know what happened and why he was there so late at night. Now, Alvarez had actually came out in an article and had shared this as a quote. But on the title, it says that he denied any allegation of him being violated by Drake as anonymous claims circulate. One of the main quotes that they had here was, I am not in a position to talk about Drake's character outside of our meetings, but I can say I was not violated in any way, Christopher Alvarez emphasized. Now, the interesting part about this quote real quick, and I'll read the rest of the article, it says, I am not in position. It sounds very, very strange to say that you're not in position to talk. And then you say you're not in position to talk about Drake's character, basically meaning you're not in position to talk about how you feel about Drake's character, which will matter in a second. But let's get to what he was saying in that article after this image first emerged around May 10th, earlier this year. It says, I've had the privilege to be with Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and other celebrities who have been very nice to me, but I don't understand where it all got blurred with the fans. I can confirm that I was with Drake on the night of January 22nd, 2023. After his New York City concert with 21 Savage, Alvarez wrote his essay for the publication. I was called to meet Drizzy at the Mark Hotel, and we had a blast listening to new beats. I am not in the position to talk about his character outside our meetings, but I can say I was not violated in any way. And that becomes another question. Now, after he had said that he had listened to beats with Drake, People were still alarmed because why would Drake want to meet you at 3 in the morning just to listen to some beats for about 1 to 2 minutes? It's still alarming, and we still don't have answers to those questions. But now it'll make a little sense once we continue. Growing up in a society, Alvarez says, that was not meant for me to succeed, I would never put myself in a position that would further dehumanize the disability community, Christopher added, citing CDC statistics that 80% of women and 30% of men with development disabilities have been SA'd. Lastly, I have been getting a lot of spam phone calls, text, emails, and social media messages saying that I am a snitch in this beef, that I accepted hush money from Drake, and that I was somehow on the plan because I follow underage high school girls. Alvarez emphasized, first, I don't know anything about Drake and Lamar's beef because to me, life is too short to hate and I don't follow it. Second, I'm a hardworking journalist who holds elected officials and private entities accountable. I don't have rappers on speed dial to be the mole or the snitch. Just like he's like, by the way, guys, I am not the mole. I am not I am not who you think I am. But it gets really interesting because people just started going crazy on Alvarez, wanting to know why he was there at 3 a.m. Now we could fast forward to current events. Now, Ebony Prince had came out with a new post. Now, mind you, the first original post, it was January 22nd, Sunday at 3:20 in the morning. This is Alvarez when he first arrived. On January 21st, on Saturday at 23:45 military time, which is just 11:45. Yes, Drake made this man wait in the lobby with a life-threatening disorder for 4 hours. Now, it is October now, isn't it? Ebony Prince had stated. Well, let's wrap this up. How many of you have been invited somewhere as a guest, yet made to wait nearly 4 hours for the person who invited you, only to have less than 1 to 2 minutes for a beat listening session? You see, this becomes a problem because now you start to understand what's so interesting. And what's interesting too, I just saw this here. He posted this the same time, this timestamp, just to let us know, to be any more clearer. 11:45 is 23:45 in military time. So they also just threw that in there for us to understand a little bit better, right? But I digress. Let's continue. Ebony Prince is letting us know that during the time when Drake stayed at the Mark Hotel, Drake performed at the Apollo in New York City on January 21st in Harlem City, New York City, which is Ebony Prince's hometown. As you can see here, Drake was there with 21 Savage. He was supposed to perform there. You know what's crazy is that Drake was quoted for saying he wanted to make this about gratitude and decides to leave a man with life-threatening disorder. That Drake decided to leave a man with a life-threatening disorder in a hotel lobby for 4 hours, bro. Now, I may not be able to tell you what they did in their private session. If Alvarez is going to say that they listened to beats, that's fine. But the problem is that Alvarez is out here saying that Drake never violated him, at least physically, right? But if this man, and as you can see here in articles about his disorder, he has a severe skeletal disorder. So this man, by doctor's estimate, was supposed to only have the age expectancy of 5 years old. This man is well off over his 20s. And he is in the hotel lobby to meet Drake. Now, you have to remember that because of the situation, we also had to remember, as you can see by this timestamp here, was also the same time where Ebony Prince had stated in a tweet, two Black American men became unemployed at this exact moment, and you made an enemy. And this is Ebony Prince talking to Drake about the Alvarez situation that he had posted in his original post back in May 10th. See, it's the same timestamp. Now, I believe what ended up happening, and I was thinking about this last night when I saw it, Alvarez will go and say that Drake didn't violate this man, right? Drake didn't violate this man. Drake was merely just trying to meet this man. Now, Drake had a concert. We could assume, let's just say the concert happened in the evening and was supposed to finish at midnight. And let's say that that's why Alvarez was there at 11:45 at night on Saturday. Let's say that he was supposed to meet Drake on his way back from the concert. What occupied Drake for him to take so long? That's the real question. Why was Drake so occupied that he had to make this man wait in the lobby for 4 hours? And what also kept him occupied enough to make him leave just as fast? And Alvarez may think that Drake didn't violate him because it wasn't in the physical sense. But I could tell you clear as day that this man, life was in jeopardy only because he was stuck in a hotel lobby waiting for Drake. Mind you, man, this man's life is fragile according to doctors who've studied his diagnosis. This man is the last person that should be waiting 4 hours in the middle of the night for Drake to show up in the first place. I'm not sure what Drake had told this man. I'm not sure if Drake had told him, hey, let me meet you around this hotel at 12 a.m. You know what I mean? So let me paint a picture for y'all, right? Let's say that I'm a security guard and you're a security guard, right? We're the security guards that Ebony Prince is talking about in this situation that got fired. So think about it like this. This man comes into the office building. This man comes into the main lobby of the Mark Hotel. He comes in at 11:45 p.m. Me and you are security. We're supposed to accommodate our guest, Drake. We're supposed to heed to all his wishes and make sure that he's satisfied as long as he stays in the Mark Hotel. Alvarez comes at 11:45, and obviously we go up to him and ask how we could help him. Alvarez, let's say he says that he's there to meet Drake after the concert, and then he shows us proof, whatever the case. Maybe he shows us a text, maybe he shows us something that verifies his claim, and we say, okay. So it's 11:45. I guess the concert might end at midnight. Let's say that Drake's supposed to arrive any minute now. So we don't have a problem with him waiting for Drake in the lobby. Now, when seconds become minutes and minutes become hours, and it's not 11:45 anymore, it's 3:19 in the morning. Now this becomes a problem. Now, it's not a problem for us as security guards to leave Alvarez in the hotel lobby. But this is the thing. We don't own the hotel, and there's probably certain policies that the hotel is providing for us to follow. Now, if you look at it like this, it's weird. And if me and you were security, we would be looking at each other like, why did Drake want to meet this guy so late? Why can't he just do this during the day? So it's bad enough that this is such a bad time to meet somebody. But now we have to make sure that he's okay until Drake comes. Drake decides to come at 3:19 in the morning. That alone is a problem within the security staff itself, maybe for the policy that the Mark Hotel follows. There's probably, and this is January, y'all, in New York City. It's probably freezing cold with freezing temperatures outside. It's not like they could have told Alvarez to wait outside for Drake. They can't tell this guy to wait outside for Drake outside of the Mark Hotel during the mid-January weather. during the mid-January weather, it's probably freezing out there. And remember, guys, this man has a life-threatening disorder, bro. Because of Drake's request to meet this man at 11:45 at night, now us as security are responsible for this man's well-being, not by choice, but because Drake wanted to meet this man at such an awkward time. Now he put us in the position where we had to take care of this man. We probably had to go against policies that we weren't following, just so that way this man could be okay while he waits for Drake. We're putting our job on the line so that way Alvarez's life isn't put in jeopardy. Drake basically put this man's life on a couple of security guards to take care of. Whether Drake looks at it like that or not, that's what happened, bro. Drake did not care enough for this man's well-being to show up at a proper time and force two security guards to go against policy just to make sure that Alvarez didn't put himself in jeopardy just to wait for Drake. And because of that, two men became unemployed at that exact moment. Drake did not care for the safety of Alvarez, but he wants to do a concert at the Apollo and talk about gratitude. Well, if you had so much gratitude, you would have not left a man with a life-threatening disorder in the lobby for 4 hours. You wouldn't have put him in the responsibility of other security guards that were there and forced their hand to take care of Alvarez. If not, he would have probably been in a bad situation, probably a life-threatening situation. And because of that, they lost their job. And you made an enemy out of Ebony Prince. Now, I can't tell you what Alvarez and Drake really did, if they really listened to beats or not. I can't tell you why he wanted to meet him at 11:45 at night. I can't tell you why, but I can tell you that Alvarez was not supposed to wait that long for Drake. He put his life in danger just for waiting for Drake. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you spin it, that's how it was supposed to be. Allegedly, right? Because if the security guards really did follow the policy, right, and they really did not want to lose their job, they would have put Alvarez outside of the hotel lobby and made him wait outside. Did they get fired because they left him in the lobby to wait for Drake? And that was against the policy of the Mark Hotel? And because of that, did they get kicked out of the hotel for that same reason? See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Is that Drake invited this man. So that's supposed to be his responsibility. But instead, he chooses to be arrogant and let this man wait alone in the lobby, which forced two security guards to take care of him. You have two people who put their job on the line to take care of somebody else's guest who you were supposed to meet 4 hours ago. So Alvarez could go on the newspaper and say that he can't speak on Drake's character, probably because he doesn't want to admit how he feels about Drake's character. For whatever reason, I can't tell you why. Because if I was Alvarez, I'd be pissed. Like, bro, I have a life-threatening disorder and you're making me wait in the lobby for 4 hours? Something very bad could have happened just because you want me to wait in the lobby for you for 4 hours. And because of those two kind men, those two kind security guards who decided to keep Alvarez inside the lobby instead of freezing temperatures in the middle of January in New York City where it's cold, they lost their jobs because they decided to keep Alvarez in to make sure that he don't freeze himself to, to make sure he don't freeze and his situation get worse. I believe this is why Ebony Prince brings this up in the first place. Because Alvarez, when in doubt, did not hold Drake accountable for his actions. Alvarez had just answered everybody's question. No, Drake didn't violate me. But he's not going to speak on Drake's character. Well, maybe Alvarez should answer how he feels about Drake's character. How does Alvarez feel about Drake making him wait 4 hours in the lobby while he has a life-threatening disorder? The life expectancy is to be 5 years old. He's 26 or in his 20s, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But realistically, doctors saying that he's already past the life expectancy with somebody with the skeletal disorder that he has. So for Drake just to play games with this man's life and make him wait in the lobby as much as he should, Alvarez may not look at it like Drake didn't violate him, but he did put his life in jeopardy. And this is part of the whole manipulating thing that Kendrick Lamar was saying. Alvarez thinks Drake did nothing wrong. But I could tell you that Drake did wrong. Ebony Prince will tell you, nah, he did wrong. Not only by the security guards that looked after him for Drake, but they lost their job because of that. Alvarez don't see it like how Ebony Prince sees it. He's just so pressed on seeing Drake that he put his health to the side just to meet him. And if that ain't manipulative, then I don't know what is. But this is my opinion. And we'll keep it alleged, right? But let's say that something bad happened to Alvarez, right? Let's say that the security guards didn't want to lose their job. And let's say that they went out there and told Alvarez, you can't be in the lobby. You got to wait outside in freezing temperatures. And what if something bad happened because of that? Are they going to blame the hotel? Or is the hotel at that point going to blame Drake? But these two men, they were considerate. They had empathy and actually chose to let Alvarez stay in the lobby. I don't know the policy for Mark Hotel, but if they lost their job because of Alvarez staying in the lobby, then it's probably because he wasn't supposed to be there, allegedly, right? But they had empathy and let him stay anyways, allegedly. And that's probably why they got fired. Drake put Alvarez's life in the hands of two security guards who had no choice but to look out for Alvarez because Drake wouldn't do so. I can't tell you what they talked about in their little meeting that lasted 2 minutes, right? Allegedly. I can't tell you why Drake wanted him to be seen at 11:45 p.m. But I can tell you that Drake messed up. Drake really put this guy's life on the line by making him wait out here. Put two security guards' job on the line for making them wait out here. But y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'm going to keep it alleged for now. All alleged. I'm just watching this information and seeing how it goes. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace.